And then we'll just go off on how Russell Wilson is Hall of Famer. No. Oh, Eli Manning, is he a Hall of Famer? And is Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer? Because that was on Twitter the other day. Yeah. People were just sucking.
Richard Sherman said something like it's a low bar to get into the Hall of Fame or something.
Well, I think has Richard Sherman said, is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer?
If not, I'll just send a tweet right now.
Well, Dan Patrick always says, he says this, when you ask that question, is it immediate?
Yeah.
And I feel like with Eli Manning, it's yes. Because he got out of the pocket and made that throw, and yes, Tyree had to make the catch, but then he still made that game-winning
Richard
throw.
Sherman believes Eli Manning is no doubt a Hall of Famer.
But if you would have watched the last couple of years of his career and how bad he was, I think
this is perfect. We're talking about this.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have we started?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're started?
Yeah.
So I thought we might have because, I don't know.
I hit recorded, yeah.
Oh, shit. All right.
So wait, who said that? Richard Sherman said Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer?
So, yeah. Yep. Why Richard Sherman believes Eli Manning is no doubt.
Who was playing bad at the end of his career? Sherman or Eli? Yeah.
Bad he sucked with the Giants.
Yeah.
And you get a couple years to digest it, and you're like, all right, he's done. And you remember what he did instead of what he didn't do. Mm-hmm. Like he killed Tom Brady. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I feel like in that conversation, like if you're comparing him to Matt Stafford, it's like that's the point though, is he beat Tom Brady twice. Not just one time. Yeah. He beat him twice, and it was the one where they were undefeated. So it's like, to me, so the Dan Patrick criteria of like, okay, when you ask me, is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? I say yes. Because he beat Tom Brady twice.
I would agree.
Stafford, I do pause. I'm like,
why do I have to feel bad for you that you played for the Lions? It's not my fault.
Yeah, exactly.
But Eli also had to go against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys were traditionally picked over the Giants.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Cowboys just the greatest choke artists of all time, but Giants always were good enough to sneak into the playoffs, and then no one liked playing in New York, and they just turned it on in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin, that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy was he was the playoff coach.
Yep.
Stunk during stunk
well,
during the real season, but
did you guys watch The Man in the Arena, that one?
I can't bring my it looks like good content. I don't know, some day if I'm real bored.
I would say just watch the episode.
Is that the Magic Mike documentary?
No. It's the Tom Brady one, The Man in the Arena. But they're making I'll figure out which episode it is because they talk about that year where they were going undefeated, and they had Strahan as the guest. And so Strahan's kind of giving you like how the Giants are going, and just how the Giants felt when they met them in the Super Bowl. And so it's in what he felt of Eli, and it's a good one because it's kind of what we're talking about right now, like Eli making those plays and the Giants turning it on. And
one of the years was Rodgers and Packers were 15-1.
Yep.
And they were like, they should win everything. Rodgers was insane. They had all 6 receivers that were just amazing. And then they ran to the Giants at home, and they lost to the Giants, and the Giants went on to win it. It was like, another year where the Packers failed in the playoffs, but I don't know.
It's one of those things where I think, and I think Strahan just mentioned, like, they beat someone in the regular season at the end, and he's like, we felt like, their record didn't prove it. And he's like, but we felt like I think it was the Patriots. They played the Patriots last.
They did, because they
lost in Foxborough. And he said that even though they lost, he's like, we felt like, 1, we could have beat them, and 2, we were more physical, is what he said. And then so that's why.
Second play at the end of the regular season, and Randy Moss got it. I think.
Yeah.
And they were just, after that, you thought, well, they're going to win it.
Well, and Strahan, I don't know how much he's blemishing it for the documentary, but he's like, we didn't really try. He's like, we knew, like, which I thought was hilarious. And Tom Brady's, of course, saying, like, they're going for the undefeated record, so they're taking it seriously, where Strahan's like, nah.
Well, the reason they won, a lot of it was that they had that defensive line. And
yeah,
if you pressure Brady, then you got a chance, and that's how he's been, but he's always had that line that
Giants football was never fun to watch. It was just a grind. We're going to just run it down your throat, and we're just going to tackle you behind your line of scrimmage repeatedly.
The Coughlin style, yep.
It was boring.
Yeah,
so,
old school.
And the Patriots were getting old a little bit, in terms of receivers. But who were Eli's primary receivers?
You had
the guy that shot himself in the leg in the club.
Cruz.
Plexico
Burris, yeah. Cruz, I thought.
Cruz.
Gibson was still there.
There was another one. The guy that went to North Carolina.
And they had the tight end, too, Shockey.
Yeah.
Jeremy Shaw. I mean, no Hall of Famers there.
Yeah.
It's just making me sad.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of it's through a lens of when did my team lose? How did we
You're
not
looking
do
at
better?
it.
That's 10 years ago.
I'm a 49ers fan, so it's not any better for me.
I'm not mad at you. I'm my own team.
But this is great. That was a great start into this roundtable here for Sports Business Nation, sitting down with Tyler and Brad. And, since we're talking Super Bowls, Hall of Famers, we got to give, not saying we're telling he's a Hall of Famer just yet, but shout out to Wyoming boy Logan Wilson, leading both teams in tackles. 8 solo tackles, 3 tackles for loss. They claim he only has 1 pass breakup. But I think if you take away the bad call, that's 2 pass breakups. But anyways,
give it to him.
Yeah. One thing, guys, that I need to look into more is I don't know how much the Pro Football Focus thing is, but all the different stat places are different, like for season stats and postseason stats. And I was kind of like, how can that be? Like a stat's a stat, we should look into that, guys, because like
that should have been a question for WYO Predicts.
Yeah, because like Pro Football Focus, the NFL, then there's another stat site. They all were different on his stats for the year, and I was like, a solo tackle is a solo tackle, so I'm not sure how we're missing tackles. But anyways,
so we're starting a petition to.
Well, I mean, I just
legitimize all of his. Let's just watch all the games from this year and do it ourselves.
I guess.
You go count them and tell me who's right.
Logan Wilson, big fan. I've watched all of your game. I have your actual statistics. I've
watched everything.
Let me know if you want to meet up and go over things.
I even went through your college and then your high school. Pulled it up on Huddle. Wyoming High School as a corner. Pulled it up.
I watched all of them in this jersey. I haven't washed it.
Real
big fan.
Please let me know if you'd like to meet up.
Yes, yeah.
At my house, my basement.
So I can tell you how to be a better linebacker.
Yeah. We'll put you on the wall of legends.
I watch a lot of football.
Well, he should be up on the wall.
Him and Joey.
Yes.
And Burrows.
Someday I'm coming in when you're not here. I'll find a time. I'm not going to have much time. And I'm going to draw Aaron real big in front of your head, so you have to look at Aaron Rodgers all day long.
As long as he's wearing a Denver Broncos jersey, like.
No, not yet.
What a fat head. No, that's what you should do. We should put a fat head over there of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. So anybody that comes in, there's Aaron Rodgers right there. That's what you should do, Brad.
It's to make me happy.
No, in all seriousness, though, he did. I will say, here's Pro Football Focus. He finished with 70, and again, give or take, 70 solo tackles. That was 36th out of all linebackers. 27 assisted tackles, 4 interceptions. That was tied for first in linebackers this year, and then 1 forced fumble. So he had a great year. Next season, Tyler, this is interesting. So his contract is 4-year contract. He gets $1,060,000 next year. He's got $280,000 in bonus, and then next year, his last year on the contract is $1.2 million with the same bonus. So it'll be interesting to see how he finishes out his first 4 years with the Bengals. I bring that up because players are requesting to get paid in crypto.
Oh, big time.
And I wonder, I saw a thing, the bonuses that Odell made off of his playoff run, but I didn't see anything on if some of that's crypto or not.
Yeah.
But what's with all these athletes wanting to get paid in crypto, man?
Right. And it's not just a buzzword anymore. It's a business strategy.
Oh, it's gaining. Yeah, it's gaining now.
We talk. I mean, it's come up in almost all the conversations, and we're addressing it on multiple fronts now.
Yeah.
Parker talked about it. We asked Chris Pro about it a little bit, which was cool. But they are seeing the utility of it. And right before the Super Bowl, Darren Ravel wrote an article just bashing Odell because this was when Bitcoin went to like 32,000, and he did the numbers because he's a numbers guy. And it was like, oh, Odell's going to only make like $60,000, and after all of this for the year. Well, now it's up 15 grand again, you know, and it's like now people are like, oh, Odell looks like he's a smart guy for diversifying his portfolio, but more athletes are doing it, and it's at the advice of their agents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he's sponsored by Cash App. He's taking his salary in Bitcoin. You have Trevor Lawrence, Saquon Barkley, Russell Okung, a
lot of big names.
A lot of big names.
I don't know if
Tom Brady's paying
as a
big name.
Choice as like a role model. Yeah.
I mean, his crypto wallet, he's going to lose it in the treehouse he's living in, that hippie.
Yeah, he's living in a treehouse.
He's living in a treehouse. His girlfriend just kicked him out. He's living in a treehouse.
He couldn't hide his money under his bed anymore because he moved out of his house. In the mountains or something. Who knows?
Or that's why he's in Bitcoin, though, so they can't take his money.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, exactly.
No, just don't look at what
Who knows? I would love to talk to him about it.
It's just kind of, I don't know.
But it is a solid business strategy, and it just, people want to be on that cutting edge. But for this, we've done extensive research and looked into all different aspects of Bitcoin, and it's not going anywhere. And that's what those athletes are inevitably investing in.
Mm-hmm. Well, and as more states move to get legislation in, I'm going to bet these owners and teams are going to do that more, especially like LA, freaking the basketball stadiums, all crypto.com. These athletes, it's almost like investing. They're going to take cash, and then a percentage is they're going to say, I want it in Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever coin that they want. So to me, it makes sense because, like if in Odell's case, like it went up 15K, so I made more than, technically that I was supposed to get paid. So
yeah, and if he's money savvy, he could just take all of this, leave it in Bitcoin for 10 years, and if it goes up to 600,000 a coin, like he's looking like a financial genius. Like I think he can wait it out 10 years given what he makes, and just the bonuses alone almost was $2 million.
Yep.
Darren Ravel ever talks crap about you, all I got to do to make yourself feel better is to read his Twitter replies. He deals with enough. He's probably not feeling too good right now. Everybody hates you.
Yeah, everyone's coming after him now, I would imagine.
He does have some very insightful, but he just comes across as like
he's a company man for ESPN.
Yeah,
just all like
the mothership.
What money story can I kick up, and it doesn't seem like it's fishy because I'm doing this for that company, or is it he's just a goofball?
He is a goofball, but him just getting
freaking journalist, man, freaking journalist.
I'll always be branded with it across my forehead.
And if that doesn't suit your fancy, there's a ton of videos on YouTube of him just getting schooled by professional athletes on one-on-ones, and it's just comical.
It's like, who's less athletic? Is it Schefter or Ravel? Doesn't Big Cat call it's Schefter. He calls him P-Boy. I was thinking it was
Ravel,
but no, it's Schefter. He calls him.
Anything else to add on that, fellas? Crypto, Super Bowl?
Yeah, the ad that got the most
traction.
views, traction was the crypto.com little bouncing.
Yeah, wasn't it Coinbase?
Coinbase.
It was Coinbase,
Yep. Crypto.com had an ad, but Coinbase was the one with the little
QR and code. The QR code, and then I think they had the Zendaya one. I think. Was that hers? Anyways, it was like helping small businesses. I think it was Coinbase. Yeah, it was Coinbase. So she could sell stuff online and take money. I think they had two good commercials.
That's awesome.
But yeah, they were like top 20 apps, and then now they're like definitely top 3 after the Super Bowl. So it's like, well, the $15 million you paid for those 2 spots definitely paid off. for sure.
The fees and stuff. But on the point of the cryptocurrency, we see these athletes. We want to answer the question of why they're taking their salaries in Bitcoin. We're going to dive into those contracts in the upcoming episodes.
Yep. Talking about Parker, he's got an NIL deal with a coin. A former Sheridan kid, Dante Crow, has a deal too with a crypto. So, it's leaking into college now with those NIL deals, and we're going to dive into those too as we get more college athletes on, and then cryptocurrency for sure. Do we want to do too early Super Bowl predictions for 2022?
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
People are already doing the Rams, of course. Run it back.
If all the good teams lose in front of them. Again.
Yeah.
Play it safe, guys.
I think the AFC. I think the Bengals are going to have the hardest time. I just think that AFC is loaded. The Bills are going to be good. The Chiefs are going to be good. The Steelers aren't going to be as bad if they get a quarterback, but they'll be back. The Chargers. I mean, it's just the list goes on in the AFC. The NFC, I think, might be the easiest just because of we've already made fun of, Aaron Rodgers could be gone. What's happening with Russell Wilson, Jimmy G, Kyler Murray? Like, shoot, you could have a whole quarterback carousel. And seriously, the Rams, if they just play it smart,
exactly. If you buy enough players at the right time, Eric Weddle does.
Especially in their division.
Yep.
Come on. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's a way too early Super Bowl prediction, and we'll do mock drafts probably later as that gets closer.
The Packers can win the North with Jordan Love still. I think they could.
They should. I think they should be able to.
Well, who's going to do it? Kirk Cousins, here he comes. Same every year.
He's another guy that the Vikings might cut because he's got $100 million this year or something like that.
If they were smart, they would realize he's not the savior. But
yeah.
I'm really glad.
He's going to the Niners.
I know. Yeah, No, if they're getting rid of Jimmy G, you would just keep Trey Lance. Like, why would you?
Yeah,
Lance scares me too. I think he's pretty good.
I honestly think the Niners might keep Jimmy G one more year. Because
they just have to franchise him, right?
Whatever your guy puts in your system, they got such a system that.
Yeah, he played well at the end there, and it's I don't know. Like, he hasn't. I wouldn't say he didn't win them games at the end, but it's not like he lost you the games. That's where I'm at, where it's like
you're on that cusp, almost like of your team's very good. You wish you had the guy that could take you over that.
Yeah,
and make that last throw. That's not an interception.
And maybe it's this game of we have him, and if he's just not doing it, then it's Trey Lance. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I'm not so as emotionally invested as Brad is to his Packers.
I'm trying to put that down while I say things. And
emotions in football were killed by the Cowboys a long time. Hey, let's drop a field goal to win the game, to beat the Seahawks. Yeah. Oh, Tony Romo.
And everybody hates you, too, so that can't be.
Yeah,
you gotta
America's
pretend like
team.
You don't like them.
America's most hated team.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's
Jerry
all right.
World. Jerry's
I love
team.
making fun of the Cowboys. I'm a fan. I will be, but the Bills are where it's at.
Yeah, love the Bills.
The unfortunate part is the Bills and the Bengals will have to play at some point, right?
Yes.
So
yeah,
it's going to be
that's all right.
Bills all day, but that's a future of football I'm looking forward to.
They'd be my pick to make it from the AFC next year.
Bills.
Yeah,
I think they should have won.
They need
if you think
an
about it.
offensive line,
yes,
right?
yeah.
They do. He's due,
and
though.
defensive it up.
Yeah. If the Bengals proved it's maybe go defense.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's been sacked 102 times.
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, how is that guy still walking?
Yeah.
That's
true.
Real bad.
They almost hurt him again.
That was scary. I was like, come on, it's such a great game. I sure hope he's not really hurt.
Business-wise, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm calling my GM and I'm saying you are getting an offensive lineman.
7 picks,
or I'm not,
linemen.
or I'm not playing. I feel like he'd have enough power to be like, I got you to a Super Bowl. I freaking sprained my MCL on my other knee. If you don't draft an offensive lineman in the first round, I'm sitting out. See ya.
He definitely has that pull, and I mean, it's not like Mixon doesn't want a lineman.
I know,
that can block and they all will get better.
So, anyways, this just proves why the NFL is the best league. We've talked for the NFL for 20 minutes, and the season's already done.
But we will dive into the crypto.
Yes, I think crypto
aspect of the NFL specifically because they haven't been very adaptive too. So the fact that you're now seeing cryptos and playing like we explored in Chris Pros, it's becoming the biggest market in sports is now adopting it. So
Well, and I think gambling, we haven't even talked about gambling, but like when states legalize gambling, I think the owners are going to see, if we're allowing crypto in our stadiums and gambling in our stadiums, like it just goes hand in hand of, just more money in the stadiums, more experience. So I think because we were talking, the owners, I think have been the ones that are very skeptical about it. But I think I bet when the big time owners are like, I can get more people in the stands, crypto, gambling, whatever. So, moving along, let's keep this short. College basketball. Our freaking Wyoming Cowboys, man. They get into the top 25 and then poop an egg against New Mexico.
They were due. I mean, they're very good. Like
they were having really good games there. That was a big streak. I wonder if the canceled games caught up to them.
Yeah, and they play close games, which is a good thing to have if you're going to be a tournament team. But
yes.
They were playing a lot where they just grind it out, and then that kid got hot, that number 10 for New Mexico. He was just...
Well, he dropped, a season high, I think they said?
Like that transfer from Arizona State.
Yeah.
And he was good, but you see a team with 10 wins or something, you're like, you expect that. So
yeah.
Well, that's a cruddy place to play. It's always just, that's a terrible place to play. And Wyoming played so many games that were close in a 2-week period that I just think they just got ran down.
They looked tired in that, they'd come down and they'd run the same offense where they'd throw it to EK. He's going to back some guy down from the three-point line. And then Maldonado looked tired because he's held the ball since December. So, yeah, but
not making excuses, but that would be watching that game. But they've been so much fun to watch, and when Wyoming Cowboy basketball is good,
it's not
people talk about it. People watch it, and like people are, did you catch the game last night? That hasn't been a realization of ours for a while. So it's a lot of fun, especially tournament is Mountain West tournament in Vegas
coming up soon.
9th through the 12th.
The last time they had this much buzz was Larry Nance Jr. When they were kind of in the top 25 again and made a run, made it to the tournament, I should say.
And won the Mountain West tournament for the first time.
Yeah.
I was there. Stormed the court. Me and John Rott.
Yeah. But no, I think Brad made a good point. Winning those close games is good coming into tournament time because that's what you're going to need in tournament plays. You got to grind out wins just however you can. So
I mean, the Mountain West is incredible too. So there's no guarantee that you get
in even if you win.
Through. I mean, I think they've earned the at-large bid.
Yep.
It'd be cool to get the 7 that they're talking about if they could beat Colorado State and Fort Collins in a couple weeks, but. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty huge. That would be huge, yeah.
Without having to win, they might have to win the conference. But
but that's all right. That's good.
Even after the loss this week, I was reading they have a top 20 or who's in, who's not. I can't remember which one it was on ESPN, but they said they're still projected a 7 seed, even with this bad loss, because they have quad 1 wins and quad 2 wins that are
pretty good.
Good season.
Well, and I think too the tournament starts considering players now. I think just and I always screw up his name. Maldonado, because like Jay Bayless had his on one of the college game days. He was like one of his top 5 picks or whatever that they do. So, and I was working out in the gym. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, there's a Wyoming Cowboy kid up there getting national talk. It's pretty cool. So yeah, when Wyoming basketball is good, you get a little buzz going, and so yeah. So I think they consider players though a lot too when they're like, no, we want the good players in and
absolutely
pit them against each other.
We had an article today on ESPN really condemning college basketball officiating and really being like, you better fix this or this tournament is going to be all jacked up because there's a lot of teams on the fringe. And he said that refs, so that's kind of interesting development.
Billis? Yeah, I read part of that.
He's a college b-ball guru, and if he's like calling officials out in the public, it's like, okay, what's
saying like the officiating's been poor?
Yeah, like the officiating is going to keep some of these teams out of the tournament, and like if it doesn't improve, there's going to be some.
Yeah, they said they're calling less fouls or something. Like,
we should look into that. That's especially going into March Madness.
Which makes it more watchable in a way, but you kind of got to have it. I don't know.
Because I was going to say that's usually stuff like that to college would be coming from the pro level.
Yeah.
Is the NBA not calling as many fouls?
I mean, they're not playing any defense too.
I was gonna say, I mean, less fouling,
so
less officiating in the NBA would make it more enjoyable to watch, right? I mean,
yeah, probably.
Officiating's only there to make sure the spread doesn't get out of.
See, I know that. Yeah, see, now we're going down a conspiracy hole of gambling, sports gambling, and that's interesting. We'll have to dive into that and see what Jay's talking about, because that is, I mean, especially in these smaller tournaments like the Mountain West, if there's some calls late in a game and say a Wyoming gets beat out,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, that could be.
If I was Wyoming's obviously been the better team in a lot of those games. But if I was I've watched the officiating, and I haven't watched Wyoming basketball this regularly for a while, but it was like, if I was the worst team, I might have been frustrated with some of the non-calls and the calls because EK just backed someone down or something. I don't know. But it's Mountain West officiating, and so
yeah,
it's not great. But.
Well, here's the question I would say is, if that was in the Big East or the Big Ten, that's still not getting called. I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
But I mean, Wyoming just hammers people, so they're super physical. So that's going to be
I love it.
That's why I like us against other teams. Is we're just much more physical, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, and some of it's funny because a lot of the Wyoming games are on the Stadium Network.
Right.
It's hard to find, but you get the feed from the home team usually. I think that's how it works. But on Tuesday or whatever it was, the New Mexico announcers, oh man, it was pretty rough to listen to because you kind of listen to the homers and their mics aren't sound right.
Yeah.
And they get real loud when they get excited, or
that's a bad call.
That's a terrible call, but this guy stays real excited. It's just, you got to remember, it's like listening to the radio from the local feed or something. The Utah State ones were some of the worst.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But like, to that point, if the Mountain West redid their media deal, I mean, you sent me that article, Big 12 has $1 billion media deal in the pipeline. Like, where's the Mountain West's payday?
Yep.
When are they going to formalize that and make sure that the two guys that works on the ranch next to the stadium, that's a little bit more professional and unbiased?
I just had this thought. I didn't even think about this because I've always talked to people that are in Wyoming athletics. I've always been like, we need to get out of this, the Lear Field or whoever has the Mountain West. I just had a thought, freaking Hulu, Amazon, freaking Netflix, maybe if they ever wanted to get into the streaming, YouTube. That's who the Mountain West should approach. Like, be one of the big conference, want to be one of the first conferences out of the Power Five to be full on YouTube or Amazon streaming.
If you could make it simple to understand whatever it is, because it's always some math problem to figure out, can I watch it on my cable provider?
Yep.
Do I have to plug in my computer?
Right.
With a cord to my TV? If I got a bar in Sheridan, Wyoming, can I show this game or not without breaking the law?
Yeah.
It's such a pain, and football is a little better, but it's not great. Like a couple years ago, they were streaming Facebook, and it's all about the size of your audience, I guess.
Sure, I know.
It's frustrating because one of the bars here was like, hey, could we put the Wyoming-New Mexico game on their ranked this week? And it's like, not unless you plug in your iPad or something. So
that's crazy.
If it was just simpler to understand, if there was an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
But,
I feel like Amazon would make it easy. That's pretty easy.
Because you can get the Mountain West app on Prime or the Roku or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's still like a lot of steps people aren't going to take.
Right. Something we need to probably also look in there too. Well, to finish this out, the top 5 currently right now is the Zags, Gonzaga, Auburn, Arizona, Kentucky, Purdue. I don't know. The tournament's always just been weird the last couple of years. We were talking who beat Gonzaga last year was Baylor. Year before that was Houston, I think. So they're not even in the top 5 either of those teams.
I can pretend I know more than I do.
I know, right?
It's always that time of year where you have to pretend you know to fill out your bracket, I guess.
Well, Sarah here in the office just said she won $200 on DraftKings, so we'll have her in to do the bracket with us, so that way I can win some money.
They can buy jerseys or something.
Yeah, since we can gamble here in Wyoming on DraftKings. No free shout outs, DraftKings, so pay us money for this show. But
as a Kentucky fan, the best news that I heard, or the best predictions, were that if Wyoming's a 7th seed, they'll play in the same region as Kentucky.
Okay.
which is probably going to be Indianapolis.
Okay.
So that would be sweet to go to that.
That'd be a fun game. Yeah.
If they both won, guess who plays? Kentucky versus Wyoming.
Yeah.
Do you know any more of the regions or locations this year?
It's let me pull that up. It was.
He'll pull a Jamie and just pull it up there. Did you guys bet anything on the Super Bowl while I was looking that up?
I'm not a big bettor.
Oh, no?
Have been.
Okay.
And I was still bargaining after the Packers lost.
You're still in the stages of.
Yeah, I jump between them.
I only usually just put $20 on there and do
yeah.
prop bets and stuff.
There was a guy that put money on Logan Wilson for MVP or something.
I did that.
Yeah.
I put I did $10. It was 500 to 1 odds. I would have won $5,000 if you won.
Yeah. If you would have got a pick 6 or something, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy of an idea.
We have Dayton, Ohio, Portland, Oregon, Fort Worth, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Portland. For the first.
It's been a while since it was in Denver.
Yeah. I would have thought it might have been in Vegas, but yeah, those are the locations.
Wonder why one's not in Vegas.
Well,
I mean, I guess
was
it
gonna say
rotates
The
and all
later
that, but-
games, the later games might because they have
that's
bigger
right.
venues.
Sure.
So
Where's the Final Four?
New Orleans,
Ooh.
but the NCAA Elite Eight is in Chicago, Philly, San Fran, and San Antonio.
Those are good spots.
So
One time I was in New Orleans, and I learned that the Final Four was in New Orleans, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool seeing Joe for the first time ever being down there. I realized it's the women's Final Four. Nothing against women's sports, but I was a little like, oh, okay. But it was funny because you actually saw people walking around and stuff.
I was also with Joe on Bourbon Street, and it was the selection Sunday, and Kentucky got picked to play in New Orleans while we were walking on Bourbon Street.
Yep.
John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, DeMarcus Cousins were all walking down, and I'm like, oh my God. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the Kentucky Wildcats.
Sign my forehead.
And then the next week they lost to West Virginia. So
Bob Huggins hugged that guy that year. Obscure sports.
you got the Packers, I got Kentucky.
There you go.
We're forever, and Cowboys, forever sad.
Let's go Duke.
So yeah,
Blue Bloods. That's what you're.
We're blue buds.
Yeah. Well, anything else, guys, on this one? First roundtable, Sports Business Nation. I think that was good. That was great stuff. As Tyler has mentioned, Sports Business Nation will have an episode out with former NFL player Chris Przinski. He is from Buffalo, Wyoming, so that's how we were able to grab him. He works here in Sheridan, Wyoming, but we talked. His was great. I didn't expect him to share a lot of his stories and personal experience. I completely forgot he went through the lockout. His first year was during the lockout, so that was different. The draft process, the combine. And then we got to talk to him about negotiating deals, working with an agent, crypto a little bit. And then, just what he's doing here in Sheridan, as a financial advisor. So, and then, I don't know when this will be out, but next week we're interviewing 2 Wyoming wrestlers from the University of Wyoming, Hayden Hastings and then Steven, I think this is how you say his last name, Buchanan. I'm going to guess that's how you say it. But they are both ranked. Hayden's number 12 in his class nationally, and Steven is number 2 right now. So Wyoming wrestling doing really well. So those guys will be coming on soon on Sports Business Nation. That will be a crossover, Sports Business Nation, Go BYO. So, but
if you pronounce his name wrong, you just have to wrestle him.
Yeah, number 2.
I'll try it. I've never wrestled ever in my life, so I feel like I'm gonna get pinned.
Scrappy.
I don't think Scrappy's gonna help me. He's 192, so he's my weight. So so
scary.
Yes, it's very scary. I wouldn't even wrestle Hayden.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, so he's 170. He's a 170 whatever. So
I don't even want to wrestle my 21-year-old brother.
Yeah. So yeah.
Just destroy us.
I love wrestling, but I flamed out real early.
And
Children's.
shout out to Mikey Cadera, one of our buddies. He's the coach at Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Over
Yeah.
in Gillette, and they are crushing it on the wrestling scene. So
He's in town this weekend for regionals.
Oh.
We should go see him on Saturday.
yeah, we should interview him.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Gillette always has some great wrestlers, regardless if it's Thunder Basin or.
We might have some questions or something we should ask Hayden.
Hayden. Yeah. Yeah.
Got 2 baby wrestlers
Oh, awesome.
right out of the womb.
Those wrestling families, man. All right.
Cool.
Well, that's it. First roundtable of season 2 for Sports Business Nation.
Website's up.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out.